Você disse que era meu, mas caiu na mentira. Tô de salto alto, vou deixar você na mira. Na mira. Na mira. Na mira.
Yo, welcome back to another video. This is your host with the most, Cringe God B1 here, and today we got chapter 206 called Expectations, as I knew we were gonna get a motherfucking flashback or something regarding Hiori. He's like, my dad was nationally silver medalist in judo. He's like, and my mom was ranked second nationally in the running high jump. He's like, to appease their regrets and not becoming first, they wanted their child to become a top athlete. So with those expectations forced on me, I was born. As we literally see him playing with like a Nintendo Switch, which is actually pretty cool. He's just like, yo Chan, it's time for today's protein. He's just like, make sure you get some carbs later, okay? He's like, after training, we'll study tactics. He's just like, you gotta learn the trends in soccer. He's just like, all right. He's like, in order to become the best at a soccer, a major world sport. He's like, I underwent special training every day. He's like, all right, nice shot, says his father. It's like, your precision has gotten way better this month. His mom's like, keep it up. He's like, you'll be the world's best striker in no time. And he's just like, I really just wanted to keep playing with my friends, as he just keeps stating as his friends went away. And he's just like, you're awesome. He's like, you're awesome, yo. He's just like, you're the best. He's like, you're gonna be number one, as his mom and dad cheer him on. He's just like, I played soccer because it made them happy. I thought that they loved me. As he literally starts coughing in the middle of the night, he wakes up. Actually, no, not coughing. He just wakes up and hears his parents talking. He's like, I told you his numbers aren't high enough. He's like, you're the one in charge of dietary restrictions, so do your freaking job, as his dad says. It's like, you're blaming it all on me. He's like, it must be your training that sucks. He's like, what? He's like, he won't become a pro at this rate. So then what? As his mom and dad keep arguing, so just stop it. He's just like, why do you think I married you in the first place? He's like, that's my line, dumbass. He's like, our lives will have been wasted if you ends up a half-assed athlete. He's just like, you don't have to tell me that, you idiot. He's like, all our dreams are riding on that boy. And as he literally hears his mom and dad arguing, he's like, if he doesn't become the world's best, we're getting a divorce. Which is crazy for Hiori as a young age to hear that divorce, as he fell. And then the people heard that, and then like they're like, yo Chan, they hear him getting up. He's like, are you getting a divorce? He's like, is it my fault? He's like, what the heck am I? As he starts thinking, and his parents are just shocked that he's bleeding. He's like, are you okay? Is it broken? He's like, is your precious leg just twisted? Answer me. He's just like, I'll call an ambulance just to be safe. He's like, I can't believe this. He's like, oh, he's like, these people, he's like, aren't looking at me. He's like, what these people love is just my talent. As they literally start rushing him away. Like, it's just a cut. It's not something like that crazy, because like he did ask them a question and they didn't even like freaking answer. It just like went straight through. So that's something that really does suck. But like, even so, I kept playing soccer, and even if they don't love me, as long as I'm playing soccer, my family won't split apart. And then go yo, as they're like cheering him on. He's like, so if someday I'll end up becoming the best striker in the world, I wonder if I'll find out why I was born at all. It's like, that's how I decided to think of my character's backstory. It's just like my life, as he's playing around. He's like, became easier when I thought of it as some sort of a game. He's like, Hiori, says Karasu. He's like, you're something special, huh? As they start thinking there. He's like, thanks. He's like, Karasu. He's like, I'm your great senpai, a year ahead in the youth league. He's just like, nice to meet you. He's like, likewise. You're a prodigy, ain't you, Hiori? He's just like, your natural physical abilities and the ball handling skills you honed. He's like, your soccer IQ is nuts too. He's like, in that left leg kick sense, it's just too sexy. He's like, sexy, as he starts thinking. He's like, but in the end, your tenacity at the goal is mediocre. He's like, your plays look like your body and mind ain't in sync. He's like, you don't really like soccer, do you? As he literally starts thinking, he's like, yeah, you're amazing, Karasu. He's like, I'm impressed, you could tell. He's just like, I'm an analyzer. He's like, yeah, ain't gonna beat me at that rate. He's just like, gotcha. He's like, Karasu, do you like having expectations put on you? He's like, what? He's just like, I've had expectations put on me my whole life. He's like, that's why I came to hate soccer. He's like, so maybe that's so mediocre. He's just like, as he starts thinking, he's like, what? He's like, worry later about what others think of you. Start with yourself. He's like, make your own expectations for yourself. Find what makes you like you're exciting. He's just like, that's the only place you can start, dumbass. And then he's just like, set expectations for myself. He's like, but what? And he starts thinking, he's like, I don't really want to play soccer. He's like, so then if my parents weren't around, what would I want to do? As he starts thinking, he's like, I don't know. And he gets a letter. He's like, you've been selected for a special program for Blue Lock. And they're like, this is amazing. This is your big chance. He's like, all right, now to land a spot in the national team. Believe in the dream. As his dad said, he's just like, you make me sick. You make me so sick. And he starts thinking about his parents, like, just stop putting your expectations on me. As he literally imagines putting holes on his parents, which is insane. He's like, it makes me sick. He's just like, go get him. As he leaves, he's like, don't you dare lose, never give up. And his mom's like, we'll be rooting for you. He will be rooting for you with all we've got, yo. He's just like, okay, I can finally get away from those two. To me, to Blue Lock was a place to flee. He's like, see you later. He's like, I never want to come back to that house. As he starts thinking, he's like, Hiori, he's like, come and practice with us, says Izagi. And he's like, sure. He's like, I still want to be here. As Hiori starts to think that he does not want to leave Blue Lock and he still wants to be here. And the chapter comes to a crazy end. I'm not gonna lie to you, you know, the backstory was nice, and it's nice to see kind of like where Hiori came from and kind of his backstory and shit like that. But he actually does find himself, there's a lot of controversy, but he does find himself eventually in the end of the day. But that is for a later chapter in the future. Guys, I hope you guys liked it. It was definitely a flashback chapter, I'm not even gonna lie to you, which wasn't too bad. We're gonna get to more exciting stuff here soon, definitely. But we'll catch you on chapter 207. I'll see you on the next one. Leave a like, subscribe for more. It always helps your boy out. And I'll catch you on the next one. This is always your host with the most, Cringe Copy One here, signing out.
君の虜になってしまえばきっとこの夏は充実するのもっと噂の Dreaming が忘れないででも気持ちは伝えてしまえばいつかその夢は覚めてしまうだろうな青い影が揺れる街角君の虜に